Hi guys. Have been planning on doing this for a little while, but I wanted to make you guys read Invisible Monsters, but it's I don't know why you guys can't read it for yourselves, but I'm gonna read it to you because I'm a big fan. Please excuse the background noise of the Futurama in the background. That's Jack back there trying to take a nap. So let's put on as much noise as possible, right? So here's the book. It's Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahnuik. He also wrote Fight Club. I guess I'll do this chapter by chapter because, you know, I'm a big fan. Let's see. Okay, so chapter 1. When you're supposed to be in some big where you're supposed to be is in some big West Hills wedding reception in a big manor house with flower arrangements and stuffed mushrooms all over the house. This is called scene setting, where everybody is who's alive, who's dead. This is Evie Cottrell's big wedding reception moment. Evie is standing halfway down the staircase in the manor house foyer, naked inside what's left of her wedding dress, still holding her rifle. Me? I'm standing at the bottom of the stairs, but only in a physical way. My mind is, I don't know where. Nobody's all the way dead yet, but let's just say the clock is ticking. Not that anybody in the big drama is a real live person either. Not that anybody in this big drama is a real live person either. You can trace everything about Evie Cottrell's look back to some television commercial for an organic shampoo, except right now, Evie's wedding dress is burned down to just the hoop skirt wires orbiting her hips and just the little wire skeletons of all the silk flowers that were in her hair. And Evie's blonde hair, her big, teased up, back-combed rainbow in every shade of blonde, blowed up with hairspray. Well, Evie's hair is burned off too. The only other character here is Brandy Alexander, who is laid out, shotgunned at the bottom of the staircase, bleeding to death. What I tell myself is the gush of red pumping out of Brandy's bullet hole is less like blood than it's some socio-political tool. The thing about being cloned from all those shampoo commercials, well, that goes for me and Brandy Alexander too. Shotgunning anybody in this room would be like the moral equivalent of killing a car, a vacuum cleaner, a Barbie doll, erasing a computer disk, burning a book. Probably that goes for killing anybody in the world. We are still all such products. Brandy Alexander, the long-stemmed latte queen supreme of the top drawer party girls. Brandy is gushing her insides out through a bullet hole in her amazing suit jacket. The suit, it's this white Bob Mackie knockoff Brandy bought in Seattle with a tight hobble skirt that squeezes her ass into a big, perfect heart shape. You could not believe how much this suit costs. The markup is about a zillion %. The suit jacket has a little peplum skirt and wide lapels and shoulders. The single-breasted cut is symmetrical except for the hole pumping out blood. Then Evie starts to sob, standing up there halfway up the staircase. Evie, that deadly virus of the moment. This is our cue to look at poor Evie, poor, sad Evie, hairless and wearing nothing but ashes, encircled by the wire cage of her burned-up hoop skirt. Then Evie drops the rifle. With her dirty face in her dirty hands, Evie sits down and starts to boo-hoo, as if crying will solve anything. The rifle, this is a loaded .30-aught rifle. It clatters down the stairs and skids out into the middle of the foyer floor, spinning on its side, pointing at me, pointing at Brandy, pointing at Evie, crying. It's not that I'm some detached lab animal just conditioned to ignore violence, but my first instinct is maybe it's not too late to have club soda on the bloodstain. Most of my adult life so far has been me standing on seamless paper for a raft of bucks per hour, wearing clothes and shoes, my hair done, and some famous fashion photographer telling me how to feel. Him yelling, "Give me lust, baby," flash. "Give me malice," flash. "Give me detached existentialism, inui," flash. "Give me rampant intellectualism as a coping mechanism," flash. Probably it's the shock of seeing my one worst enemy shoot my other worst enemy is what it is. Boom, it's a win, and it's a win-win situation. This and being around Brandy, I've developed a pretty big Jones for drama. It only looks like I'm crying when I put a handkerchief under my veil to breathe through, to filter the air, since you can almost not breathe for all the smoke since Evie's big manor house is burning down around us. Me kneeling beside, because Evie's big manor house is burning down around us. Me kneeling down beside Brandy, I could put my hands anywhere in my gown and find Darvons, Demerols, and Darvsets 100. And this is everyone's cue to look at me. My gown is a knockoff print of the Shroud of Turin, most of it brown and white, draped and cut, so that the shiny red buttons will button through the stigmata. Then I'm wearing yards and yards and yards of black organza veil wrapped around my face and studded with little hand-cut Austrian crystals. You can't tell how I look face-wise, but that's the whole idea. The look is elegant and sacrilegious and makes me feel sacred and immoral. Hot couture and getting hotter. Fire inches down the foyer wallpaper. Me, for added set dressing, I started the fire. Special effects can go a long way to heighten the mood, and it's not as if this is a real house. What's burning down is a recreation of a period revival house patterned after a copy after a copy after a copy after a copy of a mock Big Tudor, Big Manor house. It's 100 generations removed from anything original, but the truth is, aren't we all? Just before Evie comes screaming down the stairs and shoots Brandy Alexander, what I did was pour out about a gallon of Chanel No. 5 and put a burning wedding invitation on it, and boom, I'm recycling. It's funny, but when you think about even the biggest tragic fire, it's just sustained chemical reaction, the oxidization of Joan of Arc. Still spinning on the floor, the rifle points at me, points at Brandy. Another thing is that how much you think you love somebody, you'll still step back when the pool of their blood edges too close. Except for all of this high drama, it's a really nice day. This is a warm, sunny day, and the front door is open to the porch and the lawn outside. The fire upstairs draws the warm smell of the fresh-cut lawn into the foyer, and I can hear all the wedding guests outside. All the guests, they took the gifts they wanted, the crystals and the silver, and went out to wait on the lawn for the firemen and the paramedics to make their entrance. Brandy, she opens one of her big ring-beaded hands and touches the hole, pouring her blood out all over the marble floor. Brandy says, "Shit! There's no way in Bon Marches will ever take this suit back." Evie lifts her face, a finger-painted mess of soot and snot and tears from her hands, and screams, "I hate my life being so boring." Evie screams down at Brandy Alexander, "Save me a window table in hell." Tears rinse clean lines down Evie's cheeks, and she screams, "Girlfriend, you need to be yelling some back at me." As if this isn't already drama, Brandy looks up at me, kneeling beside her. Brandy's aubergine eyes dilated out to full flower. She says, "Brandy Alexander is going to die now?" Evie, Brandy, and me, all this is just a power struggle for the spotlight. Just each of us being me first. The murderer, the victim, the witness, each of us thinks our role is the lead. Probably that goes for anybody in the world. It's all mirror, mirror on the wall, because beauty is power the same way money is power, the same way gun is power. Anymore, when I see a picture of a 20-something in the newspaper who was abducted and sodomized and robbed and killed, and here's a front-page picture of her young and smiling instead of me dwelling on this being a big, sad crime scene, my gut reaction is, wow, she'd be really hot if she didn't have such a big honker of a nose. My second reaction is, I'd better have some good head and shoulder shots handy in case I get, abducted and sodomized to death. My third reaction is, well, at least that cuts down the competition. If that's not enough, my moisturizer I use is a suspension of inert fetal solids in a hydrogenated mineral oil. My point is that if I'm honest, my life is all about me. My point is, unless the meter is running and some photographer's yelling, "Give me empathy," then the flash of the strobe, "Give me sympathy," flash. "Give me brutal honesty," flash. "Don't let me die here on the floor," Brandy says, and her big hands clutch at me. "My hair," she says, "my hair will be flattened back." My point is I know Brandy is probably going to die, but I just can't get into it. Evie sobs even louder. On top of this, the fire sirens from way outside are crowning me queen of my grand town. The rifle is still spinning on the floor, but slower and slower. Brandy says, "This is not how Brandy Alexander wanted her life to go. She's supposed to be famous first, She's supposed to be on the television during Super Bowl halftime, drinking Diet Coke naked in slow motion before she died." The rifle stops spinning and points at nobody. At Evie, sobbing, Brandy screams, "Shut up!" "You shut up!" Evie screams back. Behind her, the fire is eating its way down the stairway carpet. The sirens, you can hear them wandering and screaming all over the West Hills. People will knock each other down just to dial 911 to be the big hero. Nobody looks ready for the big television crew that's due to arrive any minute. "This is your chance, honey," Brandy says, and her blood is getting all over the place. She says, "Do you love me?" It's when folks ask questions like this you lose the spotlight. This is how folks trap you into a best supporting role. Even bigger than the house being on fire and this huge expectation that I have to say the 3 most worn out words you'll find in any script. Just the words make me feel like I'm severely fingering myself. They're just words is all. Powerless vocabulary, dialogue. Tell me, Brandy says, do you? Do you really love me? This is the big, hammy way Brandy has played her entire life. The Brandy Alexander non-stop continuous live-action theater, but less and less live by the moment. Just for a little stage business, I take Brandy's hand in mine. This is a nice gesture, but I'm freaked out by the threat of blood-borne pathogens, and then boom! The ceiling in the dining room crashes down and sparks and embers rush out at us from the dining room doorway. Even if you can't love me, then tell me my life, Brandy says. A girl can't die without her life flashing before her eyes. Pretty much nobody is getting their emotional needs met. Jack, don't get off the couch! It's then the fire eats down the stairway carpet to Evie's bare ass, and Evie screams to her feet and pounds down the stairs in her burned up white high heels. Naked and hairless, wearing wires and ashes, Evie Cottrell runs out the front door to a larger audience, her wedding guests, the silver and crystal, and the arriving fire trucks. This is the world we live in. Conditions change and we mutate. So of course this will be about Brandy, hosted by me, with guest appearances by Evie Cottrell and the deadly AIDS virus. Brandy, Brandy, Brandy. Poor sad Brandy on her back. Brandy touches the hole, pouring life out onto the marble floor and says, please tell me my life. Tell me how we got here. So me, I'm here eating smoke just to document this Brandy Alexander moment. Give me attention, Flash. Give me admiration, Flash. Give me a break, Flash. Okay. Anyways, that was really incredibly shitty. And that's how I read out loud. I don't really read out loud very often. And then Jack got up and attacked me like he normally does. Do you like my big old gross lip that I shoot up and like made myself look really terrible? Yep, anyways, so there's that. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to read chapter 2 when I get back from LA. Yay! Maybe I'll do another chapter if Jack actually takes a fucking nap. Okay, bye guys.